Hi, my name is not important in this case. I am 45 years old. My BMI is 39. I weigh 107 kilos currently. My top weight has been 110 kilos. And this is my diary to talk myself through this Ozempic thing. I've never really had any issues with weight. Whenever I gained too much weight, I would just simply eat a bit cleaner, reduce carbohydrates, maybe increase my level of exercise a bit. But it wasn't until I was 35-ish that suddenly my metabolism just seemed to give up. Ever since then, I've been going up and down on the scale, but gradually kept moving up from, I think I was around 80, 85 when I was at a decent weight. And I've tried every diet you can imagine, from low carb, high protein, high fat, calorie restriction, ridiculous training regimen, and keeping food diary and all that. Some of those things have worked. I've lost a few kilos here and there, but I've always gained it back and then plus a couple of kilos on top of that. I've done all the normal things, from the blood tests to cardiologists, endocrinologists, nutritionist, dietitian, several of each, and none of them have been able to give me a logical explanation as to why my metabolism is the way that it is. It seems that my body just simply refuses to give up fat due to my overweight, or possibly due to genetics. I now also suffer from hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and that basically means that the walls of the heart have thickened and making it more difficult for the heart to pump blood. Now, being overweight with that circumstance is dangerous, and I have to get the weight off quickly, or it's definitely going to be the death of me. That scares me tremendously, a lot more than the realistic and even the more dramatic reported side effects of Ozempic. I think that my fatty liver and the amount of visceral fat that I have poses a much greater risk to my health than any of the reported side effects of Ozempic. My endocrinologist has been trying to get me on this medication for the past 2 years, but I wanted to exhaust every avenue possible before resorting to that, because I was always afraid of the side effects. And on top of that, it's really expensive as well, so it's not something I want to be spending hundreds of euro on every month. But it is indeed life-threatening at this point, and I don't see any other way out of it. And I'm telling you can believe me or not, but I've tried absolutely everything, and I know that technically, logically, physiologically, even according to the laws of the universe, energy cannot be created. It is only transferred, and it is not logical that I would be eating 2,000 calories wearing a bodysuit that by any definition would require about 3,000 to 3,500 calories to maintain at this weight with this muscle mass and the amount of fat that I'm carrying around. Since the doctors have not been able to find an explanation through MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, they've checked every organ of my body to see what is what. And even the blood tests look pretty decent, apart from a bit of high cholesterol, which is expected when you're obese, as I am. I did greatly reduce my meat consumption. I've always loved vegetables and I eat a lot of it, but what I did was to just cut down on meat intake substitute that with legumes, dairy, eggs, and the protein powder to be able to keep my protein amounts on the higher side. As a result, in only 6 months, my cholesterol has dropped by half. So that's a big culprit. Now, I went to culinary school for 3 years. I cook all my food myself and for my family. And I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to nutrition and diets and food in general. So it's not like I'm out here eating in restaurants and don't know what it is that I'm consuming. And I don't eat processed or ultra processed food. No fast food, no snacks, no cookies, no candy, no ice creams, no nothing. But quite honestly, it doesn't seem to make any difference either. I eat very clean, and that is reflected in my blood works as well. So apart from the obvious symptoms that would show up in blood works, that is explained by my overweight, those indicators are there, like my liver issues and kidney issues. But apart from that, there seems to be absolutely nothing wrong with me. Even my body, everything is rock hard here, and then you get to this mountain. I'm not gonna take off my t-shirt, but you can see this is a lot of fat to carry around on 167 centimeters of a body. On Monday, I'm going to go to the pharmacy and pick up one of those Ozempic pens, and I will start the injections. I've been debating if I should start by microdosing, by taking half of the recommended starting amount, which would be half of 0.25, just to reduce the risks of side effects and easing into it. And I also want to see if my body starts reacting to it at these low levels. Because both for health reasons and financial reasons, I want to keep the dose as minimal as possible. And I don't expect to be... Look, I'm not one of these lazy people with bad habits who just wants a quick fix, a quick solution. I'm ready to do the work. I've been doing the work. I've been active, been exercising, getting my steps in every day, jogging, running, sprinting, lifting weights. And if you didn't see my tummy, you'd think I'm in good shape, right? Bruh. When it comes to things like muscle loss, I'm not very concerned about that because I fully intend to keep lifting weights to maintain my muscle mass. As far as my caloric intake goes, I'm currently at about 1,500 to 2,000 calories. I expect that to be reduced further due to the slowing down of the gastric emptying. I don't smoke, I don't drink alcohol, I don't do any drugs. I'm generally pretty active. I have 2 small kids. I definitely want to be active for them, and I'm doing this for them as well because I don't want them to grow up with an obese father who is literally too fat to pick up the socks from the floor. It's ridiculous, but that's almost how it feels. I want this to be successful. I really want to get rid of this weight once and for all and get back to being my normal active self that I've been for the 3/4 of my life. There's one last thing. Not that I owe you an explanation or anything, but I really wanted to make a point out of this because I watched so many videos on YouTube, so many testimonies where people were talking about not having the cravings that they used to, and they're not interested in snacking as much as they used to. And still, even the ones that were on Ozempic, their eating habits, I mean, diet sodas and these processed foods and stuff like that, I really didn't see a single video where someone had been healthy, eating healthy, living healthy, but still being obese and wanting to lose weight. On the plus side of things, I'm glad that I don't have those additional challenges of sugar addiction and having these psychological issues of needing to snack and stuff like that. So my starting point is very different from what I've seen on YouTube, because apart from people having been obese, they've been struggling with these poor habits and maybe a lack of education when it comes to food and nutrition. So at least I have a foot up on that, and I comfort myself with that notion, and I hope that this is going to be a successful project. And I'm just making these videos just to hear myself say it out loud, I guess. And since I wasn't able to find any similar content on YouTube, perhaps this can be helpful to someone else watching who has had the same issues, because I cannot be the only one in the world who's had these issues. But we'll just have to wait and see. I will see you again on Monday when it's time for the first injection. See you then. Thanks for listening.